This is what we saw over the past hour, this little tiny shower just popping up. Here it is right here, Teichman and Gulf Freeway, I-45, that shower moving overland. And we did see that image which we showed you earlier, that what we thought was perhaps a funnel cloud, maybe a water spout, did in fact move overland. You zoom out a little bit though, and you'll notice that there's not much left of this little shower right here. It continues zipping off to the northeast at about 30 miles per hour. So this is the section of Galveston County that we're concerned about for the potential for some sort of tornadic activity or water spouts. We've seen some water spouts throughout the afternoon across the coastline, so we'll continue to watch that throughout the rest of the day as well.
Meantime, part of our area under our tornado warning right now. One has just been issued for Harris County. A water spout was spotted in Galveston County earlier this afternoon when strong storms moved through that area. Weatherman Ed Brandon is tracking the system with Mega Doppler 13. He joins us now with the latest. Ed?
Late afternoon severe thunderstorms are forming up rather rapidly around southeast Texas. The activity on Galveston Island has moved up to the north, and part of it is now causing a tornado warning in effect for parts of Harris County, Chambers County, and Galveston County. Those are the three counties colored in red right there.
Okay, thank you, Ed. And also, Dave Garrett's got a spot for us in Sky I-13. What do you got there, Dave?
Dave, you can see this water spout through Supercam here. It formed as we were looking at storm damage over here just on the west side of Shoals Field south of Broadway, and we spotted it, and it is only formed here and dropped down about halfway down into the from the sky. But as you zoom in, or as I zoom in, you can see that the water is churning up right over just on the other side of this hotel here. It looks like it is drifting to the north and is about to make landfall here in just a second. We're obviously going to stay here and keep looking at this and see if there's any damage created from this water spout as it comes on to land. Dave, Jana, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Dave. And our team coverage of these storms continues on the ground in Galveston County, where Eyewitness News reporter Gene Apodaca found some damage from those storms. He's there now live. Gene?
Well, Dave, you can actually see that water spout we were just talking about from the ground here. I'm going to step into the shot to show you just how close it is. This is the car dealership that saw some damage earlier from a different water spout, but you can see that one forming right behind us. Now let's look at the damage. Right over here, you can see the damage to the wall here, actual debris flying off that wall. And here is the debris. You can see that stucco was yanked off and plenty of styrofoam was pulled off as a result of that water spout moving in earlier today. Now this all happened around 4 o'clock. The general manager at Sandollar said that he saw the water spout over the bay, but it looked at as if it was going up into the clouds. The next thing he knew, the water spout headed right towards his direction. All he could do was brace for the punch.
And all of a sudden you could see the wind blowing real hard. So we looked out the south windows and it was coming in. We just hollered for everybody, get away from the glass, get under desks, and within about 5 seconds it blew through.
They add anything. And that was Gene Apodaca reporting. And you're looking now again live from Sky HD of that water spout above Galveston. And as we reported earlier, Dave Garrett is there, and he's going to keep a watch on it to see if indeed it has any impact as it comes toward shore. Meantime, water covers vehicles and inches dangerously close.
HD, this water spout off the coast of Galveston apparently trying to reform. Let's go back to Dave Garrett in Sky. Hi, Dave.
Dave and Jeannie, you can see it through Supercam HD, the water spout trying to reform here. When we first saw it, it was over the water. We could zoom in and see the water churning up as we were looking at other damage from the storms that rolled through on the west side of Shoals Field is about where we are, just on Galveston Island, and it dissipated, and as we said, it looks like it is starting to reform again. You can see the cone drop down there. I cannot tell from our vantage point whether or not it's actually over the water, has actually moved onto shore. Obviously, if it moves onto shore, we'll go from a water spout to a tornado. It does look like it's actually dissipating a bit live on the air right now, but we're going to stay on top of it and see what happens with this and if it potentially reforms. It looks like it is over near 61st Street from the vantage point that I have right now, but again, we'll stay here and keep an eye on things. Back to you.
Is out over Galveston Bay. This shot live now from CamNet of a water spout. It doesn't appear to be all the way down to the water, but as you can see, that funnel hanging down from that cloud. We will continue to watch this and the rest of the weather around the area and bring you the very latest on these water spouts. This one, as we said, out over Galveston. Galveston for the latest on the weather situation down there and these continuing water spouts. Gene?
Well, Dave, it's back and forth right now. You can see that water spout formed, and now it's going back up into the clouds there. This is just south of that car dealership we showed you just a short time ago. But we have been following this water spout as it keeps coming and going through the area. It did appear to have a long tail just a short time ago as we watched it cross from this direction to this, and we noticed that it kept forming. You can see right now that it is actually forming again a little tail, but it did have a big tail, and we are unsure whether or not if it crossed land at that point. But it does appear that it keeps forming and unforming in this area, and of course we're going to keep following it. But you can see for yourself, it is still a very developing story out here with the weather as that funnel cloud continues to bring concern for many folks out here. Dave?
Okay, thank you, Gene. Well, let's go to Ed Brandon, the weatherman who's got these things on Mega Doppler. Ed?
You can expect to see this sort of weather during the kind of atmosphere that we've been under for 2 or 3 weeks now. It's very soupy outside. It's tropical moisture, and particularly in the late afternoons, you can see thunderstorms form and those funnel clouds. The difference between a tornado and a waterspout, by the way, is very simple. If a funnel cloud forms over water and then dips down to the surface, it's a waterspout. If a funnel cloud forms over land and drops down and touches land, it's a tornado. What we saw down on Galveston Island, the tornado warning, was because a tornado was sighted by a member of law enforcement down there near Harborside and the Gulf Freeway. That tornado, or thunderstorm with a possible tornado, was moving up to the north at about 15 miles an hour. We put a future track on it, and at that speed, if it continues to be a tornado, it would move into Port Bolivar in 19 minutes. However, we don't see shear markers and showing up on Mega Doppler, which we would expect to see if there actually were a tornado down there. We'll continue to monitor it, and Galveston Island, Galveston County is still under a tornado warning until 6:30 this afternoon. For Harris County, no longer in effect. Once again, the tornado warning still in effect, however, for Galveston County. Here's what we see in the rest of the area. We're looking at heavy thunderstorms moving off to the north and to the northeast. This is actually what we're seeing around here is in the tropical moisture coming off the Gulf of Mexico, and not the same as the thunderstorm activity we had earlier in the day.
And in this case, though, what we've seen in the same location twice, the same kind of activity develop where we've seen the thunderstorms pop up quickly. And as we look closely now, we can see what we're talking about. Once again, in the same area around the Galveston region, we've seen these showers and thunderstorms fire up very quickly, and they should also move out very quickly. And you should keep in mind that, again, we're not expecting to see widespread tornadic activity, but with this kind of an atmosphere, with a kind of a tropical moisture in the atmosphere right now and a little bit of spin, that's a perfect environment for these types of scenarios to turn out, where we see the water spouts that then move over land and then quickly go back out to sea. It would be very surprising to see anything like this happen, like, let's say, for example, in the Houston area itself, but obviously something we're going to watch very closely.
All right, Dr. Jim, thank you very much for the update. Monitoring the situation right now, you can see the FOXRAD storm seeker radar right there, and you can see some of the dark green and the red and the orange, of course the red being the most severe. We've had some problems in the island of Galveston. Once again, two things that started out was water spouts hit the ground, becoming tornadoes. The National Weather Service issuing a tornado warning for Galveston. That's it for now, but be sure and check this out and keep it on myfoxhouston.com for the very latest, and you can check out FOXRAD Storm Seeker Forecast 24/7. We will bring you more information as events warrant.
Again, this one is touching water. It's not on land. That makes it a water spout. And as we told you a few minutes ago, these are very common in this type weather, in tropical moisture at this time of year, with a strong upper level low pressure system, the same system that's been causing our weather to be what it has been for the past several days. Let's look at a couple of radar displays and I'll show you what's going on. This is Harborside Drive. This is Interstate 45. We had a funnel cloud, a tornado tornadoes spotted near Harborside Drive and Interstate 45 about 45 minutes ago. A tornado warning was issued for Galveston County. That tornado moved on. It began to weaken as it got just north of Harborside Drive. The tornado warning was lowered. It is no longer in effect. But as the thunderstorm got out over water here west of Pelican Island, it became severe again, and another tornado warning was issued, this time for Chambers County. So no tornado warning for Galveston County, but as that system moves north up toward Trinity Bay, then we will begin to see a tornado warning in effect up there. We have another view on Mega Doppler that will show it maybe a little bit better. It's that small system right there that is causing the tornado warning for Chambers County. This is Chambers County, Trinity Bay, Galveston Bay, Bolivar Peninsula with Crystal Beach, and that is the area that's being affected by this tornado warning. Once again, this is moving out over the open waters of the bay, so it's not a threat to anybody except someone who might be out in a boat. If it continues to be active as it gets to the eastern shore, we'll make sure we tell you about that. It is not that unusual for this sort of thing to occur in the tropical moisture that's on top of southeast Texas. When these funnel clouds occur and when they drop down either over water to become waterspouts or over land to become tornadoes, they typically are not serious tornadoes in that they only are generally an F0, maybe an F1 tornado. Those are the weakest. However, if it hits a shed, a tool shed, or maybe a garage, it could cause property damage. So it's not that we are not concerned about these. They are typical, but if they hit something, it can cause problems. We'll continue to monitor very closely. Right now, we have no more tornado warnings in effect. The tornado warning in effect for Chambers County is scheduled to expire at 6:45, and that's about right now. So we expect to see this red-colored Chambers County begin to go back to its normal color. The system that was responsible for that Chambers County tornado warning is right here under the T in the word Texas City. It is moving out over the open waters of the bay, and there it is. You can see the movement of it during the past few hours or so, definitely getting weaker as it goes. That's why we fully expect that that tornado warning will be allowed to expire. Now, we've been watching this heavy rain up to the north.